tracking the number of wrecks in 2014 and talking to state police about what they plan to do to keep that number down this year.
A father says his young son died in his arms of the flu while waiting in a Kentucky emergency room. And why more and more athletes are wearing this strange mask while they train. Details coming up.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 4:30.
Good afternoon. Sam, Dick, and Amber Philpott reporting a deadly holiday. We are tracking the latest number of wrecks throughout Holiday Week 2014.
Law enforcement throughout the Commonwealth worked nearly a dozen deadly crashes in the 10-day period between Christmas Eve and New Year's Day. WKYT's Kristen Kennedy talked to Kentucky State Police to get a better perspective on 2014's holiday crash count. It's our top story at 4:30.
State police say the number of fatal wrecks they saw over the holiday season in 2014 is very close to the number in 2013, and they're hoping to drop that number this year.
Just the fact that you have the more vehicles on the road during the holiday season, that's where the increased collisions are coming from.
Kentucky State Police Trooper Paul Blanton says alongside holiday travel, lower prices at the pump contribute to more vehicles on the road. Out of all crashes reported in 2014, state police say half included some sort of driver distraction. Distractions range from cell phone use to just inattention behind the wheel. Troopers patrolling major interstates in the Commonwealth do have their own New Year's resolutions that they hope will drop the number of fatalities they respond to.
We believe if we can get people to slow down, if we can reduce the number of people that are driving impaired, and make sure that everyone in the vehicle is wearing their seat belts, we believe that the fatal numbers will be reduced in 2015.
We're taking a closer look at contributing factors on WKYT at 5:30. For now, we're in Fayette County. Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
State police say historically drivers and passengers not wearing their seat belts are 4 to 5 times more likely to be killed in a crash. Well, it is going to be a wild weekend for weather here in the Bluegrass.
A lot of changes. We're talking about a weekend warm-up with some showers and thunderstorms, and then later colder weather. Let's check in for all of that with our chief meteorologist, Chris Bailey. Chris?
Yeah, all of that tied into one weekend, guys. So buckle up for the ride. Temperatures go up and down over the next few days. We're still on the downside right now, with a lot of 30s showing up, but each and every location is well above the freezing mark now. That is certainly good news with another round of precipitation moving into town. After that little bit of a wintry mix in the northern parts of the area early in the day, what is out there now, maybe a little drizzle and then some out-and-out gusty showers coming in from Campbellsville, scooting by Liberty into Casey County. That'll head over into northern parts of Pulaski County in the next little bit and impact London, Corbin, and Manchester in about an hour's time span. Most of the area, though, right now, rain-free. That's going to change in a hurry, though. Look at the moisture that is coming at us from the southwest. Everything that is to our southwest rolls on in here. So as we said, buckle up for the ride from thunderstorms to snowflakes over the next 36 to 48 hours. And then next week, we've got 2 surges of Arctic air, coldest air that we've put on the 7-day forecast, guys, since last winter's brutal stuff. That comes your way in less than 10 minutes.
Chris, thank you. Kentucky health leaders say 6 people in the state have died of flu complications so far this season.
The family of a northern Kentucky boy say he died less than a week after being diagnosed with the flu. WKYT's Whitney Wetzel has more on how the family is dealing with the loss of their son.
6-year-old Mikey Gaalpa died in the emergency room of a hospital just 3 days after he was diagnosed with the flu.
Nothing what I say, nothing what I do is going to give my son back.
The first grader's father, Jose Gaalpa, says Mikey started getting sick on the evening of December 17th. Gaalpa and Mikey's mother kept him home from school the following day and gave him some Tylenol. The next day, a doctor prescribed Tamiflu for Mikey during an urgent care visit.
She told her that he will get better, just we need time. It's just a regular flu.
By the 20th, Mikey's parents thought his condition had improved because he didn't have a fever, but his body felt cold and Mikey was still vomiting and had uncontrollable diarrhea. Gaalpa rushed his son to the emergency room at St. Elizabeth Florence.
I asked her, the lady, she said, oh, just wait on your son and they will call you when It's your turn.
Not long after that, Mikey's condition worsened.
I see my son just throw up on me, and I stand up and I was yelling at them, need help, I just need help, somebody look at my son. Finally they decide to take him inside. Well, it was bad. I think he just died on my arms when I was waiting for help.
St. Elizabeth did release a statement giving their condolences to the family, but said they couldn't comment on patients' private health information. According to Mikey's parents, he had asthma and pneumonia in the past, which could make any illness harder on him. His mother was also still considering whether or not he should get a flu shot this year because she had heard that it wasn't effective. An autopsy will determine exactly what happened. Whitney Wetzel, WKYT.
And the Gualpas say that they feel like the receptionist in the emergency room was ignoring them. They're also wondering whether Mikey should have been referred to another doctor during his visit to urgent care.
One of the hottest pieces of sporting equipment this new year is a mask that makes it harder to breathe. It's designed to simulate what it's like to exercise at a high altitude. Chris Van Cleve takes a look into the science behind the mask to see if it works.
Justin Wesley breathes loud and looks funny when he's working out. He uses a mask that simulates tougher conditions at high altitude.
You're sucking for air and it's just not coming in because it's holding back the air.
High elevation training masks are becoming more popular. Many professional athletes are using them during training to try to get an edge on the field. Manufacturers say the masks limit oxygen, strengthening lung capacity and building the diaphragm.
And you're going to take less breaths per minute, but you're going to take breaths that count for more.
You can control the intensity of the workout or the elevation by swapping out these white discs. This one with 4 holes simulates 3,000 feet. It lets in more oxygen than this one with 1 hole that simulates 9,000 feet. High elevation researcher Dr. Benjamin Levine says altitude training may have advantages for athletes who sprint a lot. But for most people, he says the mask likely does not provide health benefits.
You're only spending a few minutes at altitude, and that's not enough to induce any real major productive changes.
Wesley says he sees a big difference after using the training mask for the past 18 months. He says he's stronger and faster.
I've shaved a minute off of my run time, basically.
The former U.S. soldier has also lost 80 pounds. Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, New York.
The training masks sell for about $80 at sporting goods stores.
If you're trying to figure out what to do with that live Christmas tree right now, how about giving it to the fish? The Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife Resources will take them at more than 30 drop-off locations across the state through January 15th. Donated trees are bundled to create fish attractors that will be submerged in lakes, providing nursery habitat for young fish and cover for the larger fish. Of course, it's the beginning of the new year, and many people everywhere are making some resolutions.
Our Deanne Stevens is out and about at Cycle U in Lexington, where they are working hard to get you in shape for 2015. Hi, Deanne.
Hey, this is a good way to get your aggression up. I don't think we're doing this right, Noel. We are at Box to Beat, a new class happening here at Cycle U. Noel Dick is with us, and love that they know how to have fun here, as well as getting our bodies up to speed, being physically fit. What is Box to Beat?
Box to Beat is a little bit more challenging than kickboxing, but not quite as intimidating as a boxing gym. So the idea is we took music and now we box to it. So we teach people how to do the basic moves, and it's a great total body workout, and it's so much fun, and you get some aggression out. So Deanne,
I was going to say, so sometimes you can put like people's names and faces on your little box seat, right? Yeah, and it helps too. Talk about getting some aggression out.
So you get the music behind you and you get the inspiration, and it's just a fun way to do it. And then we also have TRX, which
is so huge right now. This
is
TRX
huge.
because folks can do this at home. They can do this obviously here in the gym, but it's a full body workout too.
It is replaces weight training. So you use your whole body, and it's compound exercising. So it works great with a Cycle U cardio class or even a Box to Beat class. You get the whole package.
It's important too, Noelle, I would say in the new year, is don't start off like, I'm going to work out every single day, and let's be realistic about what time we have, the time frame that we can put in on being physically fit and in changing our ways of eating. It all goes hand in hand.
You know, eating is really honestly 80 to 90% of it. And the other part of it is I tell people all the time, people ask me, what's the quickest way I can lose weight? And I'm like, the thing you're going to stick with. So if you can find something that you love mentally is so much key. That night that you're having a horrible day, you will still go do it. And you do it 2 or 3 times a week, that's what you need to do.
And something that makes you feel better, right? Get a little aggression out. All right, you can check out Cycle U and all they have to offer here in the new year. Lots of new classes, and you can do that at Cycle U Lexington. This feels so good.
Got it, Jeff.
CycleULexington.com. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about. Back to you guys.
Officer Dawn's face, you know, punching out there. I don't know.
She's enjoying hitting that bag way too much. Okay.
Well, actor Alec Baldwin kicks off the new year with big news, and the real-life subject of Foxcatcher pans the movie.
Begad Shaban has those stories and more in today's Eye on Entertainment.
Former Olympic wrestler Mark Schultz is slamming his depiction in the movie Foxcatcher. Schultz tweeted his anger over the film and vowed to destroy director Bennett Miller's career. Schultz is apparently upset over what he considers to be an implied sexual relationship between the character and his benefactor. Actor Alec Baldwin and his wife are adding to their family in 2015. The couple announced they're expecting their second child together.
I'm here today with the Queen.
The wait is almost over for Downton Abbey fans. Season 5 premieres in the U.S. Sunday night.
I think Season 5 of Downton Abbey is much more, it irises down much more onto the family again. There don't seem to be as many cataclysmic outside forces at work.
What on earth does she see in him? Seriously?
George Clooney made a cameo at Downton in his skit for charity. And a new Star Wars movie is on the calendar in 2015. Star Wars: The Force Awakens is set 30 years after Return of the Jedi. It stars original cast members Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, and Carrie Fisher. But you'll have to wait all year. The Force Awakens doesn't hit the big screen until December 19th. And that's your Eye on Entertainment. Begad Shaban, CBS News, Los Angeles.
U2 lead singer Bono says he may never play the guitar again. That's because he suffered some injuries while on a bicycle in New York City.
Bono suffered multiple injuries, including fractures to his left eye socket, shoulder blade, and left elbow when he crashed his bike in Central Park back in November. He required hours of surgery after what doctors called a high-energy bicycle accident. Bono said he would have to concentrate hard to be ready for U2's planned tour later this year. The Interview is increasing its exposure as the controversial film gets an even broader release. Sony Pictures is expanding distribution with video on demand and pay TV services available through Verizon, DirecTV, Time Warner, and Comcast. The agreements with the nation's leading cable, satellite, and telecom providers comes after strong showings on several online platforms, including YouTube and Google Play. Later today, the number of U.S. independent theaters showing the film will increase to more than 580.
Well, fresh off the success of her latest album, Taylor Swift had one final trick up her sleeve to drive fans wild in 2014. The superstar posted a video of her rapping and giving gifts to fans. T. Swift used social media to learn the likes and dislikes of various fans and then selected presents to fit their tastes. The event has become known as Swiftmas.
As expected, 2014's highest-rated broadcast series is the CBS smash The Big Bang Theory. The Hollywood Reporter published its list based on Nielsen's ratings for the year. Veteran comedy Modern Family came in second, and Shonda Rhimes' hits How to Get Away with Murder and Scandal took the number 3 and 4 spots. Well, it is sort of hard to wrap your head around all the changes in the weather coming just in the next couple of days.
His forecast is bizarre looking. I mean, I have to say that because you have 60 at one end and on the other end, 16.
It kind of matches me.
Did you make that up?
You know what I'm saying? It matches my personality. When it looks bizarre looking like that, kind of matches my appearance as well. But yeah, over the next several days, we said earlier this week, you want it? chances are we got it showing up in the 7-day forecast. Concentrating on your Friday evening plans for folks who are going to be out and about. Yes, it is cold, but it isn't that cold. It's mid and upper 30s as of now. We have the gray overcast skies, and with temperatures that are well above freezing, anything that's going to be falling from the skies is going to be in just plain old light rain fashion. We had that wintry mix we've talked about all week long earlier this morning into parts of the region, causing a few accidents into northern Kentucky. But as of now, what we're tracking on Defender, guys, is some plain old rain. When I come back in a few minutes, we will try to help you out and get your head wrapped around that forecast for the weekend. It does take a walk on the wild side with the hour-by-hour forecast.
Thank you, sir. We will appreciate that. Uber's New Year's Eve prices, a family's birthday, and a mystery solved decades after a crash. It's the video that will have you talking. Take a look at this.
Users of Uber, that service, are posting their New Year's Eve bills on social media. So why are they doing that? Because they say they paid way too much. For example, one rider posted a copy of a receipt from a 4.5-mile trip in Westchester, Pennsylvania. It cost him $117.15, 51 cents rather, counting pennies there. And that passenger was just one of many who spent well over $100 for a Lyft. A money analysis looked at surge pricing in cities around the country at 1:30 in the morning when Uber expected the most business. And the analysis found prices in New York and Dallas were 6 times the normal rate at that time. New Year's Eve is one of Uber's busiest days, and the company warned folks of steep surge pricing ahead of time. All riders have to confirm the higher price before ordering a car.
It is safe to say that the members of one Ohio family will never forget their birthday. That's because they are all New Year's babies. Raheen Stover was born New Year's Day, 1978. His wife, Kiana, was born New Year's Day, 1980. They always thought that that was quite a coincidence until now. The couple's firstborn, a baby girl, was born at the start of this new year. Dad said that they'll each celebrate with their own birthday cakes. You have to do that, right?
It's very special in many ways. Decades after a car wreck, a mystery has been finally solved for an Illinois man. Arthur Lampett was driving home in 1963 when he crashed head-on into a semi. He was cut up and he had surgery for some broken bones, but otherwise he was okay. Well, 35 years later, he walked into a courthouse and set off a metal detector. Then just last week, he had surgery on his arm after it started to swell. What the doctors found shocked a lot of people.
Went back to look at the old pictures of my wreck, and I noticed that the turn signal was missing. And so we started piecing things together and discovered that's what it was.
Oh my goodness. The piece of metal stuck in his arm since 1963 was 7 inches long. And you would think there would have been a lot of infection, and I don't know how he could have survived with that being in his arm, but he did.
Complications. Well, there you have it. On that note, stick with us. Here's what we're working on for you now at 5 o'clock.